What's up, YouTube? It's Keegan with Keegan Lanier Media, and today we're going to kind of revisit an old video. We're looking at how to build a custom Divi menu. This is one we did in September of 2018, but we recently got this comment that we're going to show you here. It's from our friends over at Motives Media, and they said, can you please do a video on adding symbols into the nav bar? And that's exactly what we're going to do in today's video. You know, we want to listen to you, the community. If you have something that it's a request, you want to see it, we're going to do our absolute best to bring it to you. So we're going to kind of take a new look, a new approach in our new tutorial layout. And we're going to bring in a custom layout. We're going to build this layout where we include some symbols, some social media icons, some different icons directly into into the navigation of Divi. So that's what this video is all about. It's about the community. It's about you. It's about giving back for exactly what will be beneficial to you. So without further ado, I'm going to stop talking. Let's get into the video. So we're here in the back end in our demo zone, and as we do in every video, we're going to walk you through the setup right now, the stats, right? So WordPress 5.4.2, you see it down here. We're going to go under themes real quick and show you the version of Divi we're using. There's an update available, so let's actually update, because I believe we were on 4.4.8. Yep. So let's go to 4.4.9. I know it just came out. I want to make sure that we're always doing this with the most bleeding edge versions of WordPress and Divi and any other parts of the stack that we use. So we've got it updated. Let's double check. 4.5. This one's interesting. I didn't know we jumped up to 4.5, but we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and get started. So let's open this up, open up the site here in the front end. I want to show you, we've got the PR theme already loaded up, or the PR layout that Elegant Themes put out. In the front end, it's loaded up. We've got just the bare bones menu, right? This is the Divi menu, basic, right out the box. This is what it looks like. And we're going to go and build a new header, a pretty simple header, but we're going to do it under the Divi theme builder. You know, in the video that we did, and the one that was referenced in the intro, that video was 2 years old, so they didn't have the theme builder. Elegant Themes hadn't put it out yet. We were custom coding a lot more way back then. You can do so much more in the theme builder. So what we're going to do today is we're going to build a global header, and we're going to do something from scratch. It's going to be basic, it's going to be simple, but I think it's really going to get the point across and show you some of the flexibilities. And this does tie into some of the older videos we've done. The Apple style header, that one didn't have icons in it, but it was a custom build theme builder header that we did, and you can get the layout. So we're going to put a card up here, boom, right up in that corner. That'll link over to that video if you're interested in checking it out. So the first thing you want to do, we get in here, we're going to insert our modules. We're going to drop in a menu module. We've got a single row. We're not going to attach a logo. I like to do things a little bit different when it comes to these headers. So the first thing I'm going to do, you can see all the gap in the section between that and the row. So the very first thing on almost all of these menus that I do is go in and take the padding on the section down to 0. So that compacts it, makes it to where it doesn't take up as much of your screen, a much better user experience. You can see there's still some padding on the row, and you can adjust that depending on your needs or what design you're trying to accomplish, but typically I'll put in about 5 pixels, because once you drop an image in here, it's really tight right now, but once you put an image in, it spaces it out, and you usually get about 75 to 100 pixels. That's where I set my image to, and it gives you a solid menu without being too big. So here, we've got the one row. I'm going to change it, and I'm actually going to put 3 columns here, and we're going to do it to where it's this layout right here. I want it's pretty small on one side, equal size on the opposite side, and then space for the menu in the middle. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to take the menu and actually move it over into the center. And what we're going to do is click in that first row, we're going to add an image. And in this case, I'm going to pick just a logo with a blue background. So Keegan Lanier Media logo with a blue background. And then we're going to go over to design. We're going to adjust the size. So on the image, what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the width. We're going to drop this thing down to about 65 pixels. And I'm not going to adjust for tablet and mobile on this one because typically I build 2 of them, one for mobile and one that's only visible on desktop because I do different things with stacking. You can absolutely keep it as one, build it to where it shifts whenever you go down. It's your personal preference. For me, I like to do it in twos because I do go and add in a lot of flex code. And so you'll see it here in just 1 second. What we're gonna do once we get all the pieces in place. For here, I'm gonna go to social media follow. And in this case, we're gonna have those icons, right? So you see things are a little weird. These two columns are up at the top, this one's in the middle. It just looks a little funky. So the first and foremost, like the very first thing I'm going to do is add flex to each one of these columns. And so we're gonna go display flex, and we're going to, I think, align items center. So we're gonna put that one right there in the middle, and then we'll copy this code over to the other columns. So now it's on all 3 columns. And there's something else that we've got to go in and do. We've got to equalize the heights of the rows. And you can adjust the gutter width if you want. You can play with that, but that's not really super crucial. But you can see here now we've got this towards the middle. This is in the middle, but for some reason these are not. So what we're going to do, I personally don't like that look. That's just a personal preference. So I'm going to delete the backgrounds here. I'm going to go and change the icon color, like the general icon color. We'll make them this blue color. Go back into content, go under Twitter and delete the background here. So now they look a little bit better. And under the icons, see, typically you could do spacing, but that will not work the same way here. See, they don't change. And that's because you can't actually control the spacing around the icon itself. It's the spacing on the outside of the icon. So it's a little bit different here, but that's okay. All right. So we're going to take this menu, we'll go into the options, and let's actually just push that menu text to the middle. And I forgot because I put flex on there. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. When you do flex, you have to actually control where the content sits. You're no longer able to use the builder section of it. So you have to go down here and you'd have to do justify content in the center, and it should push everything over to the middle. If I spell it correctly, it'll put it to the middle. So now that content is all in the center and everything's pretty much aligned. One thing I will do here is push this guy. Again, see, this one doesn't work. So we'll have to do the same thing over on the last one. So advanced, and we'll justify this content. Flex end. It pushes everything over to the end. So now we're spaced out pretty evenly. The space from here to the end is the same as the space from here to the end. Everything looks pretty good. Maybe we'll add a little bit of padding, increase that 5 up just a little bit. That way we've got a little bit of space around this. We'll set the backgrounds here on the section. We'll make it all the way white. And let's actually go in and play with the text here. I like a little bit bigger fonts. So let's just do like a Poppins. We can do the regular weight. We can go up in size to wherever you see fit. That's going to be obviously a whole lot too light. You can do something along these lines, and then you can change the hover color. Hard time saying that. Hover color. You can change the hover color here. We're going to go to hover, and let's say we want it to be much darker. So it's pretty obvious when you hover over. We want something that draws people in. They know for sure there's an action. And then that's perfect because we'll go up here, set the active link to be the same color that matches the hover, and we're good to go. We'll hit save. And that's good. So what we've been able to do here, because we promised in the beginning we're going to add icons and symbols here, this social follow is exactly what you can do. So we could go add another one. You can pick your icons here, and that's one way to do it. There's also another way. If we delete this social follow, what we can do is actually I think under text, you could do font awesome. So you could use that, or you could get font awesome that works here too. But what we're going to do is a little bit of a different setup. We're going to save what we have here. And rather than doing just socials, if you needed different sort of icons, support or even a home button and things like that, we'll save this layout. And so to accomplish the layout and getting those icons in the front end, we're going to install a plugin. So we're going to come over to plugins, hit add new, and there's this really great one, Divi Supreme. I've started using the Pro version, which is really, really good, but there's also this light version of the plugin that works really well too. It gives you a lot of additional options. So we're going to activate the free version here, 5 stars, 46 reviews, tons of installations, plus there's the Pro mode. So you can, we'll show you out real quick what options there are in the Pro mode. They work extremely well. It's very well coded, and there's a ton of great things here. There's gradient text, flip box, text dividers, tons of options as far as taking advantage of Divi and bringing it to the next level. But again, we're using the free version. We've got it here, and we'll go back into the theme builder now that this plugin is active. We'll go back into our header. So we're back here, we're in the theme builder again. And what we're going to do in the space where we had the social media icons before, we're going to click add new module. And as you scroll down, you're going to see those Supreme icons. So these are all Divi Supremes. So we can go with an icon list. Let's select the icon list and let's add a new item. So when you add this item, it works sort of like sliders, and you can go content, you can pick your icon. Let's look for the gears, like a setting, right? You've got the icon up here. We can go under design, we can change the icon color, we can make it bigger, we can increase the size of it. So if you had a membership site, you needed somebody to be able to check their profile or their settings, you could do something along these lines. So we've got this one, and rather than adding an additional one here, because this is a vertical list, and I haven't seen a way in the free version to be able to make it a horizontal list, what we can do is just hover over this one and add additionals. Now you see they're a little bit weird, and that's okay. It's all controlled by this. Whenever we shrink the gutter width down, that last row becomes perfectly in line. So this is one where you want to make sure that the gutter width is also 1. So equalize column height, and you want to use the gutter width as 1. So now when we look at things, we've got our icons in line, and if you go under the wireframe view, you'll see there's 2 modules, they're vertically, and we can add 4 if we wanted, and they'll all be 4 in line. Now with Flex, it gives you the ability to make that layout look your own and kind of bend it to your will, but it does make it a little bit more difficult in the visual builder to pick out the modules that you want to edit. So always go into wireframe, and remember, like, the first one's going to be the one on the left. So we had the settings gears. Let's delete the other 2 and say the first one, like, we're going to change the first icon. So we're going to come under here, and we'll go down to the content, and we will pick a different icon. So let's find like a picture of, or an icon that would represent like a profile or a person's profile. So let's find something like this. Like this, in my mind, represents a profile. So we'll pick that one. Now what we need to do is create a little spacing to the right. So we can go 10. Now they're spaced out a little bit. And the other thing we can do is under icon design, we can change it to where when we hover, maybe we want it to go black. So it's going to stay blue until we hover over it, and it's going to become black. And we can go back, we'll save this, we'll hover over it, and we are going to extend the Supreme icon list to everything in this column, which will make the hover changes we just did work with the settings as well. So we'll save this. As soon as this is saved, we'll be able to exit out of the theme builder, hit save, and what looked like this before in the front end, now that this is saved, we'll refresh, and your menu is going to look a little different. So now you can see we've got our menu, we've got our active page in black. These are gray as you hover over them. You can really see that the stuff pops. And then as we come over here, we've got the pointer. It means there's a link. We've got it here as well. And this gives you really unlimited flexibility in what you can put in your menu. You can use any sort of icon, and you can also use the social media follow to put your social media accounts up there, link directly to your accounts. And then you're only limited by what your mind can create. So I hope that this has answered your question. Number one, going back to where we started, Motives Media, I hope this gives you some really, really good, useful information to really take this layout, make it your own. The flexibility is there. The possibilities are endless. What I would love is for you to drop a comment in the section below. Let us know the sites that you're using this on, if you're using it. Motives Media, for sure. Anybody else, if you get some value out of this, go check it out, use it, show us what you're doing with it. We appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel if you like this and you want to get more tutorials and tips just like this. We do videos pretty frequently, definitely as often as we can, and at least once every other week, you're going to get some sort of tip, some tutorial here on YouTube. So consider subscribing to the channel, come back for all the videos, hit the bells if you really, really, truly love what we're doing. That way you're notified as soon as the videos go live. We appreciate you. Hope you're staying safe out there, and we'll see you in the next video right back here on the channel.